let me state up front, this is not really an original theory. Some people have already gotten to this and speculated upon it. I happen to have read Christine and saw the movie, but it was a while back, so I'm going to be drawing on memory. So I apologize if I get a few small details correct. We only need to know the essentials anyway for Halloween Ends. So, what is occurring? Well, spoiler warning. So, let's do it again. Three, two, one. I think where the leaks and theories are converging is that Corey Cunningham will be some kind of copycat killer. He finds Michael in the sewer because we do see one image of him in the sewer, and then he's being grabbed by someone, maybe not Michael, but maybe a hobo or someone working with Michael. And I guess the question would be, well, how does this all fit together? Okay, fine. Corey's traumatized. He's being demonized and bullied. I guess he finds an ally in Michael. But then what? What's the story and how does this hook up to Christine? Well, let's go through several foundational facts, which I think help flesh this out. One, that Christine basically does have this kind of narrative structure they're going to lean on. Namely, you have Arnie, who wants to feed basically the bullies to Christine, this demonic car. And there's that similarity that Arnie was bullied and Corey was bullied. Secondly, Christine was directed by, yes, John Carpenter. It's a pretty obvious homage to Carpenter, who has been doing the music for this trilogy, and of course directed the first Halloween. And then we have Arnie, the main character in Christine, whose last name is, yes, Cunningham. And the full name of Corey is Corey Cunningham. So they've kind of tipped their hat that, yes, there are definitely callbacks to Christine. Question is, how far does this go? Are these just a few allusions, nothing more, or is it central to the plot and central to the story? Well, obviously, I'm going to contend it is very central, and these facts do give it plausibility, but perhaps we need a little bit more, and we have actually gotten more in a weird way through even the synopsis, because the synopsis says, well, this town's in a bit of hysteria, and Corey's being accused. So a lot of the story is going to be, did he do it? Did he not do it? But I want to flesh out the plot details that will kind of complete the circle. So some people have brought up that this is going to be a major problem if Corey just finds Michael in the sewer and they come to some kind of agreement and Michael gives him the mask and or the costume. Is Michael just going to be literally walking around the sewers for getting this insane stink on him? How's that going to work? How's he going to feed himself? Well, I think through one of the leaks, we can explain that. What's going to happen probably is Corey, yes, initially will be, whatever you want to call it, conversing or having some kind of deal with Michael in the sewer initially, but later he will take Michael up ground to some kind of scrapyard. And I will get to a big spoiler for the ending, which links up to this. So just be forewarned. So after that, and this is, I think, where I'm not sure, because again, the whole point of the movie is to misdirect us. So I don't know if this is going to be Corey intentionally or accidentally bringing victims to Michael. Because if he's being bullied, some of these bullies may be following him and harassing him. And that explains the Allison part, because Allison has also been traumatized. And I don't know for a fact if they're boyfriend and girlfriend, but presumably they have some kind of relationship together and they hook up in a certain way. So it does make sense that sometimes these bullies will follow Corey, and Corey either opportunistically or intentionally basically leads them to Michael. Michael will kill them, and of course, he gets his revenge and feels satisfied. He feels justified. But we still have a big gap. So that may explain the first third and the first half of the film. But what about the rest of the film? Because one of the leaks is Michael does do quite a lot of killing. Now, the overall kills apparently are at 15. So that's a lot of kills. But apparently, Michael is responsible for only about 4, 5, or 6. So the test screenings are saying they can definitely say about 5 of the killings are definitely Michael, but the other ones seem to be spread out. So even if Corey only accidentally kills a few of the bullies, maybe 1 or 2, we still have a gap. And that is definitely a major concern. But for this video, we're just going to be concentrating on the Christine angle. So I would presume Michael will be killing a few of these victims, either intentionally or accidentally, by them being brought to Corey. Presumably, he doesn't kill Corey because he's still too weak from the wounds of Halloween Kills. Why is he doing this? I think they're going to imply that he's not supernatural, but I guess he, in his own point of view, needs the kills or needs the deaths to regain power. Because Green is on record saying Michael's not supernatural, which will explain his death and destruction at the end because he's still human. He can be killed. But presumably, in Michael's own warped mind or Corey's warped mind, the more he kills, the more he's going to get better. I guess they become these weird friends and they have this weirdo agreement. And Corey does some of the killings, but they're probably near the end. So, yes, he is a copycat killer, but he doesn't fully become Michael until the very end. And I'm guessing, I'm just speculating, this is where I am doing just pure theory. What's going to happen is he's going to finally want to confront Laurie, and Michael tags along. Laurie faces off against this, whatever you want to call it, copy killer Corey with a Michael mask. She either subdues and or kills him, but realizes that's not Michael. And double, triple twist, that's when the real Michael shows up. That's when the real confrontation happens, and Allison joins Laurie in the final confrontation with Michael. They go to the junkyard, they defeat him, and then kill him. They leave Haddonfield, they leave all of it behind, and she writes her memoirs, and end of story, it's over. The shape is dead, Michael is dead, and the horror is over. That fits, but I don't think the last third is really that big a mystery. We know there's going to be a big showdown. I guess the question is all these mysteries because of these kind of visual contradictions with what we see on screen with the trailer, because sometimes it looks like Michael's mask, sometimes the mask looks a little too clean. What's going on? I would speculate sometimes it is Corey in the Michael costume, but there may be more going on. So at the very least, yes, Corey will have on the Michael mask and Michael costume. How he gets it, we don't quite know, but I think it will only be a few killings where he is, quote, fake Michael. And Michael will do a lot of the killings, but they don't quite know it's him for a while. That leaves a gap. Who is doing the other killings? What else is occurring? And I will get to that. But in terms of the main story, yeah, it will be an homage to Christine, and that basic narrative structure of basically feeding Michael these victims is one they will have. And that's all I have for today. Tell me what you think. Is this a good idea to do this Christine homage? Should they have gone a different route? What would you think would be a better idea? Drop down below and give me your thoughts and feedback. Thank you for listening.